Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to make informed decisions and hopefully capitalize on the next bull run. I can't be more bullish. And today, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should at least consider stacking ApeCoin. Now, it might not be the time today, but I think we're about to have a reason to start stacking. And for me, I know I'm either going to stack it or do a swing trade, and I'll explain that to you as we go along. Now, I know a lot of people have biases against ApeCoin, and they do not like Bored Apes. And quite frankly, guys, it's probably because they just don't understand how a Bored Ape NFT could remotely go for $1 million. And I think the highest one sold for like 4.3 million. Don't quote me on that, but it was a ton of money. And I used to not understand it, and I tried to find the answer for about 4 months when I first found out about this project, and that was in the early stage when I first got into crypto, and I could not find the answers. But I did find the answer from a guy that owns a Bored Ape that he paid $660,000 for, and he explained it to me. And guys, I'm here to tell you, if you got the FU money, you might want to buy a Bored Ape. Anyway, I'm going to walk you through pretty much everything to do with this process. We're going to take a look at the chart, and then if you stay with me, I'll tell you the story about why people buy Bored Apes and why they can hold that value, and why, quite frankly, guys, once you understand what I'm going to share with you, you might want an ape token or an ape coin, because if I can afford, not an ape token, we can all afford those, a Bored Ape, you might want one in the future, especially if you end up having some FU money from hopefully making all those profits in crypto. That being said, guys, hit that like button, share with like-minded people, and let's get into it. Now, if you haven't been to ApeCoin's website, go there, guys, surf around, get familiar with it. Long story short, that's the token that's going to be used anytime you buy like NFTs, and with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which has its own website too. I highly recommend you go there. It's really cool to surf around. I believe this is an iconic project, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And then they have launched the Otherside, which is their metaverse, and guys, those land sales went ballistic and sold for a huge amount, and it's probably going to be a really popular project. Maybe I'm wrong, and I would show you the trailer, but go to the Otherside's website. It's otherside.xyz, and watch this trailer. I would show it to you, but last time I did, I got hit from YouTube because it has whatever issue with some of the music. Anyway, guys, here's my position. I truly believe the Bored Apes, and I'll tell you the story of the Bored Apes at the end as well, of how this all came to be. It's pretty fascinating or interesting in my opinion. But I believe this is going to be an iconic project. They already have restaurants, and they have like t-shirts and everything under the sun with those logos. You're going to see them in movies, cartoons. They are going to dominate as a character in the metaverse. I really believe that. Now, there's going to be a zillion things that are going to be blown up in the metaverse, but Bored Apes are going to be some popular people, or whatever you want to call them, walking around in the metaverse. I really believe that the Bored Apes, I mean, they already are going to cut an album, have a band. They'll have bands and music in the metaverse. I wouldn't wouldn't be surprised if they don't actually do a live concert, guys. I truly believe that they're going to be like Batman, Donald Duck, the Hulk, Wonder Woman, you name it. I believe it's that kind of iconic type, legacy type brand. I really do. You're going to see it probably, partner with like Coca-Cola or Anheuser-Busch or whoever. But anyway, guys, here's what kicked off this video. And stay with me, we'll take a look at the chart at the end. I was walking through Walmart trying to go get some flies to go fly fishing, and I look over in the clothing department and I see a Bored Ape. I'm like, no way. So I go over there. I actually took a picture of it, and it got me thinking, man, is it going mainstream so much that it's in Walmart? The other thing that I thought about was, wait a minute, it's in Walmart? Because to me it's an upper level type product. But when I got back, I went to my trusty AI friend and went down the rabbit hole with Claude to see how many retailers are actually selling their products and their shirts and stuff like that. And that is the 10 things that I'm going to share with you why you might want to start stacking ApeCoin. Now, here's what Claude came back with when I asked him who's selling Bored Ape projects. Well, Walmart's selling it online and obviously at their stores. You can buy them at Etsy, Redbubble online, all over eBay. And then Amazon doesn't have an official Bored Ape products, but a lot of knockoffs are there for whatever that's worth. But it still gets the brand awareness out there. But check this out, guys. Check out some of the retailers. Bloomingdale's, which if you've ever shopped there, guys, that t-shirt wearing Walmart's like $16. At Bloomingdale's, the same t-shirt or similar t-shirts probably $100. Anyway, Bloomingdale's has been selling their products, and Saks Fifth Avenue, guys, that is upscale, and that's help getting the word out. Nordstrom, guys, another high-end retailer. Fred Siegel had a limited edition t-shirt with Bored Ape Yacht Club artwork. And then the Hundreds, which is a streetwear brand. Guys, that's 10 retailers that have been selling Bored Ape and Bored Yacht Club products. Guys, I truly believe once this bull run starts and NFTs fire back up, guys, this is the king of all of the NFTs. Now, here's the good news. I've been waiting. I watched it launch. It launched at like $8, and they actually airdropped all the Bored Ape owners, like at the launch, 10,000, which was $80,000. They launched 10,000 tokens to everyone that owned a Bored Ape NFT. Some of the people, guys, only paid like $1,000 for the Bored Ape. They made $79,000 if they dumped it at $8. In the same day, it basically ran to $26, guys. Think about the value for the people, because before they got to $1 million, they started at 100, then 1,000, 10,000. A lot of people paid 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, and people laughed at them. They got that back immediately when ApeCoin launched, if they decided to sell, and most of them did, because it looks like a rug pull. But also, if my memory serves me well, when they launched the Metaverse, they got 2 pieces of land for free, and I think the average piece of land was going for like $35,000. $1,000. So guys, most people that are getting laughed at for buying a Bored Ape, and people are like, oh, you paid $50,000 or $100,000. Guys, they've already made that money back, which I'm going to get into in the story. But let's stay with this. Here's why I think it's time to really start paying attention. If you go to token unlocks, they're about to unlock $21 million worth of ApeCoin. So they're going to dilute the supply again. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, this project, I really don't like the people behind it, because it's basically a typical Wall Street type corporation that is here for just the money, and they're trying to take it out of our pockets. It has unbelievably bad tokenomics, and they basically have been dumping on their community constantly, and they're not going to stop. But that's okay, guys, as long as you understand it and you start buying at a low enough price, and when it pumps, you start getting out. Don't hold this token long term. You'll probably get wrecked, or you'll have to hold it for way too many years. But guys, like I said, I'm going to use this as something to stack for the bull run if it keeps going to a certain price, or I'm going to swing trade it. But either way, I'm excited to own ApeCoin when it's time, and it's getting close. Now, let's look at the chart. It's had a little bit of a run in the last 90 days. And guys, the good news is, and I wish I'd been paying attention, it's been all the way to $1. The high was this year, or last year when it launched, was $26. But guys, it hasn't experienced a bull run. So even though the tokenomics are horrible, it could still take out its old high, because when it launched, it was a bad time to be launching a project. But here's the 7-day, and then here's the 24-hour. It's actually making a good move from this low right here of $1.30. But with that unlock, guys, if we're lucky, this thing starts getting back down to around $1, and I will definitely start dollar cost averaging in if it gets to $1. Now here's my thought process. If I start stacking ApeCoin at $1 and any news whatsoever comes out, guys, this thing could bump to $3 to $5 in a blink of an eye for any reason whatsoever. And so I would just take my profits and move on. And if it gets down below $1, I'll start dollar cost averaging in, and if somehow it starts getting immensely low, 50 cents or something like that, I might load the boat and start dollar cost averaging out during the bull run. We'll just see how it plays out. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you the story of how Bored Apes came to be. It's pretty interesting for the guys that want to stick around. Why is it called Bored Apes? Well, the people that were in crypto early, I mean like 10, 13 years ago, were primarily developers. Now, a few people lucked up and got in, but most of them were part of the game, created the game, right? Well, they made so much money, and they're young, 20 years old, 25 years old, and they're worth millions, hundreds of millions. There's probably a few that were close to being a billionaire, and they're 25 years old. Well, they were talking as a group, hey man, yeah, we just ape in all the time and we made so much money, now we're bored. So it just stuck, and they started calling themselves, we're the Bored Apes, which meant we're the young, rich kids that have basically raped and pillaged the crypto market because we were early. Now, I watched the NFT market just absolutely explode in 2022. And I tried to talk to everyone to explain to me how a little NFT that literally we can all create in about 10 minutes, even if you don't know how to do it, and post it online. And how that could be worth even $10, much less of $100,000 or $1 million. And everyone that I ask, because I don't have a lot of friends in crypto, guys. I've met people that are in crypto now by having my channel, but my friends, my friends in life that aren't from online, they're not in crypto, and they make fun of anyone owning an NFT, even if you paid $100 for it. But anyway, I tried to figure out, make it make sense to me. Now guys, NFTs are the future, but they're not really the paintings. Everything will be turned into an NFT in a smart contract. When they tokenize your dog, your house, that will become an NFT. Anyway, I finally found a podcast of a Bored Ape. He had a Bored Ape. He was one of the original players. Now this guy was about 32 years old, and I'm not kidding you, I thought he was talking to me in this podcast. There was like 100,000 people watching this. It was a live show. And he basically said, hey, you know, a lot of people think we're stupid. They just don't get it. Why would this little 10-cent NFT be worth millions? I paid $660,000 for my NFT. And he's standing there in blue jeans and a t-shirt and flip-flops. He goes, dude, I'm jet set. I'm done. He goes, but let me explain to you why this is one of the best investments I've ever made. And why, if you were smart, or definitely if you're rich and part of our generation, this is the future. No ifs and buts about it. And so he said, look, here's the reason I bought my Bored Ape NFT for $660,000. He goes, because I have FU money. And when you see my logo on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, on anything, and you know it's legit, that means I'm legit. So when I say something, just like this podcast, there's 100,000 of you watching, that's because of this ape. It's not because of any other reason. So then he said, look, here's the deal. He goes, imagine, think about the older generation that has wealth in America, 50-year-old people, 60-year-old people, whatever. He said, if they're going to go to a cocktail party, what do? They go home, they get the Bentley washed up, they put on their nasty Rolex or one of these other watches that cost millions of dollars. Their wife dresses up, she gets her Gucci purse out, her big nasty diamond ring, all of that. Then you drive up to the cocktail party in that level of people, with that level of people. And what do you got? Horses in the yard. You might have a helicopter in the backyard. You got a limo, Bentleys, Bugattis, things like that as you come into the party. He goes, why do those people have it? They're not important. Your life's not better because your house is bigger, because your car do 200 miles an hour. That watch just tells time. He goes, see, we're not interested in that. I don't want a Lambo. I don't need any of that. He goes, but I want people to know who I am and what I'm all about. He goes, our generation is about those NFTs. That is our Bentley. That is our Bugatti. That is our horses in the pasture. So he goes, if I want to start a YouTube channel, he goes, guys, I would go straight to 100 or straight to 1 million subscribers because of this Bored Ape. It has already paid for itself tenfold and will continue to pay for itself. Now, how do you get paid with owning a Bored Ape? Well, here's what he said. He got minimum $80,000 airdropped. And if you would have sold it that day, at the end of the day, it was over $250,000. All right, he paid $660. Well, now he's $400,000 into it and still owns his Bored Ape. He got 2 lots for the metaverse. That's another $70K. So he's getting paid over and over. And if he holds his tokens, who knows what they might be worth in the future. Now, if you own a Bored Ape like he does, he can lease it out, rent it out. He can put it in a band, a restaurant, on t-shirts. And there's actually companies, that he can lease his Bored Ape to, and they put it to work in commercials, and they do all that for him. So like, you know how you can do staking? Well, he can basically stake his NFT. He just sets it there, and all these companies that want to use his logo, his ape, whether it's a movie, a cartoon, a band, a restaurant, a t-shirt, he gets paid royalties while he's doing nothing forever. Now here's what I think is the coolest thing, and this is why he said he did it. Mainly, he said, first of all, I want to tell everybody I got FU money. He said, but I want to be with people like me. Mark Cuban, Snoop Dogg, and people like that own Bored Apes, and a lot of obviously wealthy people. You don't spend $1 million by mortgaging your house. I can almost promise you that. Now, 3 times a year, they have a private meeting somewhere in the world where all those NFT Bored Apes can show up and mingle, and there's a list, and you can email them and all that. He goes, think about being in the room with those people. One stock tip, one investment tip, just the knowledge and the friendships to build of those type people. Guys, it pays for itself, and if you start looking at it like that, it starts to make sense. Now, there was also a video, I don't know if it's still out there, and it was called Aping Around the World, where one of the Bored Apes talked about how he introduced himself to some of the really wealthy people that have Bored Apes. And he goes, think about it. He said, if I email like Mark Cuban or Snoop Dogg or Justin Bieber or some of the people that are Bored Apes, and they know I'm part of that group, they're at least going to return my email. Well, the guy in the video, another video, he's called Aping Around the World. He was talking about how he just called them all up and said, hey, where are you going in your private jet next? You got a helicopter? And he bummed stuff around the world is what he said. I can't verify that, but it's that kind of group. So anyway, guys, after I understood that, and I started thinking, okay, I kind of get it. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you and you guys, and I don't know if y'all want to end up buying a Bored Ape, but for the young generation that is wealthy, especially making money online, that's the future. And guys, another thing he talked about, which I found pretty cool, I don't really care about it, but he talked about everyone's going to have an NFT vault because, concert tickets, you go to the White House, your pass, all those things are going to be an NFT. Like when you do these big trips and those concerts out, the younger kids do that cost $25,000, $50,000 to attend. I can't think of the names, but you're going to get an NFT. And so just like being at a cocktail party, you can go, oh, these are my paintings, this is my car, these are my horses, that's my infinity pool, that's my helicopter on the roof. You're going to be able to go into people's vaults and you're going to go, wow, you went to the White House. Wow, you've flown around the world. And everything that they've done that is extremely cool will be documented through an NFT, and you can verify it. See, we can all make up stories or take a picture with someone famous and say, oh, that's my buddy or whatever. But guys, it's going to authenticate everything and who's who in the future. For whatever that's worth, guys. Anyway, Let me know what you think in the comments section. Any of you want to start stacking ApeCoin? I think it's time. And guys, that unlock is coming in 12 days. So I'm going to start paying attention. And I really wish I would have been paying attention when it hit $1, because if I had, that's already pumped like 36% from $1. And there seems to be a lot of support. And guys, most people are not going to dump their Bored Ape under $1. They're not Bored Ape, they're ApeCoin under $1 in my opinion. So that's probably going to be the bottom. I could be wrong. It could even go to 10 cents. I don't know, but I think it's a legit project. I think it's going to be legendary. I really do think it's going to be a legacy type program or brand like Batman and Robin. I truly do. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please do so, because guys, it's go time and you got to start paying attention, and hopefully you guys have a game plan to take profits and not fall for the FOMO, not fall for the FUD. Have a game plan. If you don't, I'll leave a link down below to my email. You can email me. I have one-on-one coaching. I'll give you that information. That being said, guys, keep coming back and be part of this community. Take care.